Hello everyone, my name is Nisha and I am the YogicAmnesiac. As you'll notice, this video is titled Belly Dance Body. It's all about both dancing and getting that core strength and flexibility. Everything that goes into belly dance, all the muscles you use, all the flexibility you get is actually really good for your body. So focus on breathing in this, have a lot of fun, and if you want to do this more of a dance way and try to make everything a little bit more graceful, you absolutely can. But I'm going to teach this more from a yoga perspective, so if you're just looking for a fun yoga routine to get a little bit of a core workout, this is for you too. So if you've got a coin belt or a hip scarf, why don't you put it on just for fun, and I'll meet you on the mat. We're starting standing today. If you're going to be doing this for dance purposes or practicing dancing, keep your knees a little bit bent. That's a pretty standard position for belly dance. But we're going to do Tadasana, so if you're doing this just for yoga, get into a normal Tadasana with your legs fairly straight. Knees are soft, they're not completely locked. Your feet are about hip width apart. Roll the shoulders back, stand up nice and tall. If you're doing this for dance, maybe you want to get in a more dance-like posture and be a little bit more graceful. So find whatever works for you. Maybe you just want to play around with it. You're not a dancer, but you want to try it out. Absolutely do that. There's nothing wrong with having a little fun in this practice. So stand up nice and tall. This is a pretty basic position for just about anything you'll do, dance, life. So take a moment to get acquainted with it, feel comfortable here. If you're in a graceful position, stand there. I would avoid doing something fancy with your feet if you want to do that. We're trying to also work muscles as opposed to practice grace too much. So like I said, stand up nice and tall, roll the shoulders back, relax, take a few deep breaths here. We're going to have a lot of fun with this practice. I think it'll be a little bit different from what we normally do. So we're going to start out by doing some side stretches. So bring those arms up and overhead. You can clasp the hands here if you'd like. We're going to do, oh, my wrist cracked. We're going to do two different types of side stretches. We're going to do more yoga one and then one that I've done a lot in dance. So keep those feet grounded, keep those legs nice and strong, and here keep your hips level. That's a very important distinction right now between the next one. And lean over to the right side. We've all done this pose before if you've done my other videos. But if you haven't, got to keep those hips pretty level. Don't let all your weight go to the right leg. Keep your weight in both of your legs. We're loosening up the side here, loosening up these muscles. Inhale, come on up. And then exhale, go to the left side. Same thing, keep those hips level, keep the weight evenly distributed. Don't let that right shoulder cave forward. Keep it back. You're just leaning to the left. We're not twisting or turning, unless that feels good for you. But first, try to find that good posture, and then you can move with it a little bit. Inhale, come on up. All right, this time we're going to do something a little bit different. You can keep your hands apart. You kind of have to play around with your hands, find what feels good here. You can grab like your fingers with one hand and then switch depending on which side we're doing. So hands up, and we'll stretch the right side of the body first. So you put all your weight onto your left leg, right, let that right hip drop, bend that right knee and curve to the left. This is also working on hip mobility a little bit and spine mobility. This is another, try not to let your booty swing out to the side. Keep it all your movement should be sideways, not twisting. Make sure your left knee is not locked. You still want a little bit of softness or maybe even a bend in that left knee. And come on up. And if you're holding onto your fingers like I am, you might want to switch which fingers you're holding on to now. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Let that left hip drop, right hip raise up, weights on the right side, lean over to the right side. Open up that left side of the body and that left hip this time. You may even feel a little bit of a stretch right here. That's totally fine. Those are some nice muscles to stretch out. They definitely deserve stretching. Again, right knee is not locked, soft or bent. And come on up. Release those arms down, let the blood get back to your fingertips. And we're gonna do a quick forward fold here. So we'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Let those knees bend a little bit. And we're gonna stretch out the back of your legs here. Open it up. Let your body hang forward. Let it be nice and loose. Come up into a flat back position. It's really important to stretch out all these muscles. You really will use them all while dancing. Relax forward again. Inhale, roll on up one vertebrae at a time. Take your time here. Shoulders back. And we're back into Tadasana. So here we're going to step the feet out wide. And if you have a block or a book or anything that's a little bit sturdy and you can use to help support yourself, you can grab that right now. You may have to play around with it, find the height that works for you. But just set it, straight in front of yourself for now. So from here, feet wide apart, stand up nice and tall, upper body's like we're in Tadasana, except our legs are splayed apart. That's the only difference. And from here, we're gonna hinge at the hips, come on forward, and now's a good time to see how far in front of you want your block. I found I had it too close, I had to move it out forward. You want it to be under your shoulders here. And this might also be a good time to check your flexibility, see how low you want it, and you can also just take a moment to stretch out here before we move on into the next pose. Get these muscles nice and stretched out. And if you're familiar with belly dance and practicing with your glutes, some people like to squat down and practice flexing their glutes individually. You could do that if you want. I'm just gonna stretch out a little bit here. I like to be nice and stretched out before I start doing anything like that. All right, so from here, I'm gonna turn this block up to make it easier for me. Place your left hand on your block, the floor, your book, whatever you have. You can totally use the floor if you don't have a prop, by the way. It's, also a prop. So from here, we're gonna turn out to the right side, bring that right arm up, get a nice twist in the spine. We're keeping the knees loose, no locked knees here. You don't need them bent anymore though if you are doing a dancer's position. I like to avoid throwing this arm backwards too far. I find that puts a lot of stress on my shoulder. Breathe here, really stretch it out. And then exhale and bring that right hand back down. We're switching this time, put the right hand on the block, floor, whatever you're using, and twist up to the left side. Be really strong in that right arm, really push into it to hold yourself up nice and tall. Wiggle those toes, make sure you're not gripping the ground with them. And bring that left arm back down. To get up safely from this pose, we always recommend bending your knees and Slowly bringing your body on up. If you have a lot of core strength, you can do it with the straight knees, but it's a lot safer to do it with your bent knees. You step those feet together, and we are done with our block. So you can set it to the side again. And we're gonna come into Tadasana real quick, and we're actually gonna come to the edge of your mat, facing the short edge of your mat. From here, we're gonna come onto the ground. So inhale, raise those arms on up. Exhale, forward fold. And you can step those feet back, and we're gonna come into a quick downward facing dog. There's actually really good push-ups you can do from this pose. You might need to be on your knees to do it, but you come back into a child's pose, scoot your chest up into like a cobra, round that back, bring it up, and sit on back down on your feet. So why don't we do a couple of those? I wasn't planning on it, but let's do a few of those. So scoop that chest up and through your hands, and look up at the sky. Push on up through tabletop, round your back, sit on back down. I find that if I don't keep moving my hands up and down, I can't sit all the way back, but that's fine. This is about movement and strength. Let's do one more. Scoop on up, push through round the back, sit on back. And then you could do them the opposite direction too. Come on up, drop the pelvis, arch the back, scoop the butt up, come up through a rounded back, set the pelvis down first and look up, scoop your booty on up, rounded back. One more time, pelvis down, shoulders up, eyes up, scoop the booty on up again, and round the back. All right, let's tuck the toes and get back into that downward facing dog real quick. Stretch out the arms, stretch out the legs. Take a moment to relax here. All right, set those knees on down, release those toes. Walk those hands under your shoulders. We're gonna do a couple cat-cows or your cat pose, depending on what you'd like to call it. So, we're gonna inhale, tuck the pelvis, arch the back, drop the head. Exhale, tilt the pelvis forward, arch the back the opposite way, and look up. We'll go back and forth with those a few times. Do them at your own pace. Stretch out a little bit. Loosen up. As any belly dancer knows, it's very important to have good mobility of your spine. Really, it's good to have mobility of your spine no matter what you do. All right, so rounded back. After that, come into a neutral flat back position. And if you'd like, we already did a couple side stretches, but sometimes it feels good to rock your hips side to side. Loosen up any kinks you might have. If you feel like your spine's getting a little tired though, you don't need to do it. You can overstretch those muscles and put stress on your spine. And then when you've done the same amount on both sides, come back to neutral. Alright, so now we're going to walk those feet back and set that body on down. We're going to do a couple locusts from here. This is really good to build core strength and lower back strength. These muscles will need to support you in your life no matter what you're doing, whether it's dancing or just standing in line. It's super important to work these. So let your arms come alongside your body. This is a super active pose, so you're going to want to think about, at least while you're still on the ground, give like 15% of your effort in a bunch of these muscles. Your quads, your glutes, your core, that means your abs, the obliques, which are on the sides, and your lower spine. There are two big muscles, or there are a bunch of muscles over here in your back. All of them need to be doing a little bit of work. So before you even start, if you're just lying on the ground here, think about engaging all those muscles. And these low spine muscles are really hard to find, especially for people who are not familiar with them. So don't worry if you're still trying to find any of these muscles, in fact. You will find them one day. So from here, we engage all those muscles I just told you about. We lift up our legs, arms, and chest. And if you've ever done cobras with me, you know I always like to start with a little baby cobra. Very similar concept. We're just lifting up even more. Keep those eyes looking forward. And breathe here. Hold it for a little while. There's nothing wrong with shaking. And on an exhale, slowly release on down and rest for a minute. Shake it all out if you need to. We're going to do one more. So slowly engage all those muscles. Peel up the chest, shoulders, arms, and lift up those legs. And get a little bit of a core workout in. Think about reaching those fingers back, reaching those toes back. Keep those eyes forward. You don't need to look up with your head, just towards the edge of your mat or just past the edge of your mat. And relax down. Take a moment here. Bring your arms out in front of you. Stack your hands one on top of the other and lay your forehead on down. And come into crocodile pose. And just relax for a second. It took me forever to find a position that was comfortable for my forehead in this pose. It was so strange. So don't worry if you're still trying to find out how it's comfortable to put your head on your hands. Play around with it. I'm sure you'll find something at least one day, maybe not right now. Alright, bring those hands down, set them alongside your chest on either side. And we're going to push up into a cobra. I'd normally make us do baby cobras first, but we're not going to do that because we just did locust. So using those same muscles, peel your body up, but use your hands to help you and come up a little bit further, or quite a bit further. You can look up slightly if you want, but there's no need to throw your head back and look at the ceiling. Keep it nice and comfortable. Unless it feels super great to throw your head back and look straight up. There is no need. Alright, exhale, set your body on down. And now we're going to do a little bit more of a core workout. We're going to tuck the toes and push on up into a plank position. Planks are so good for belly dancers if you need to work your core. They're really good for any core workout. But really strengthen these muscles. We use them so much, no matter what you're doing. There are so many variations on planks too, but we're just going to do a high plank for now. Really hold it. You got this. If you need to drop to your knees, you can, but try to stay in a plank position to really keep that core engaged, working. And we're going to come back down, bend the elbows, come through a chaturanga, and set that body on down. If you're still working on your planks and you need to be on your knees, don't worry about it. We'll get there one day. Planks. I always say planks are a thing of the devil, but they're so good for you. Alright, we're going to do one more. So tuck those toes, push on up. Keep that booty up, don't let it sag down. We're not trying to arch the back here, we're trying to keep it as flat as we can. Push into those toes, Stay nice and high. Push into those hands. Don't let your shoulders collapse. Come on, you got this. Hold it for just a few more seconds here. And as we come on down, bend those elbows and try to do it slow and controlled if you can. If you just fall on down though, don't worry about it. Alright, from here, we're going to do a couple side planks. If you're struggling with normal planks, maybe you want to just stick to do a few more normal planks, but I encourage you to try to do side planks if you've never done them before. You can do them high up, like we just did the planks on your hand, but those can be a little unstable. But if you want to do that, why not try? I'm going to do it with a bent elbow on my forearm. I just think it's more comfortable, a little bit easier, less of a balance workout, and if we're already doing a bunch of core, why are we going to torture ourselves? Alright, so get this elbow underneath your left shoulder, come on your left side, stack those feet one on top of the other. If you get up into this pose and find that having your feet stacked like that makes you really unstable, you could take your top foot and place it behind your front foot. So in this case on the left side it would be the right foot behind the left foot. But that's kind of, depends on the day, depends on your body. So from here, we're going to have to lift those hips on up, and it's going to take a lot of core strength. And you saw that I didn't try to use my hand to push myself up. That's going to force you to really use that core. You can raise that right arm up straight if you'd like. If you're falling over, you can keep it on the mat. If you're really adventurous, you can lift this right leg on up. Or you can keep it down. Exhale, release the hand down and slowly release yourself down. If you're really feeling brave, you can just slowly release your body down as well. We're going to do one more on this left side. So, again, staying on your elbow and your hand, same thing. Lift those hips on up. Get stable and lift that right arm up. Keep both your feet flexed. Woo. Keep breathing. And relax down. We're going to switch to the other side. You don't have to switch, you can just roll over, but I'm doing for the sake of not putting my butt in front of the camera, I'm switching sides like this. So we're doing the same thing on this side. Once again, lying on the right side, we're going to lift these hips on up. Really use it. You'll feel these more on your side as opposed to your abs probably. And if you did it on one side, do it on the other. Raise that arm up. Raise that leg up if you lifted that leg. And hold it. Breathe here. And relax down. Whew. I'm notorious for being super shaky, so I apologize if I sound like a goat. Or maybe that'll make you laugh and make it easier for you. I don't know. But shaking does not necessarily mean you're weak. Just keep that in mind. Some people are super shaky, some people are not. Alright, so one more time on the right side. Lift those hips on up. Use those muscles. Raise up that hand if you can. And hold it here. Be nice and strong. Smile. Whoop, fall. You got this, come on. And relax on down. Now flip onto your back. Lay on down. And we're going to do a few more much easier poses. So with your knees bent and your feet flat on the ground, about hip width apart, we're going to send our arms out into about a T shape and drop those knees over to the right side. We did do a twist earlier. We did it standing though. Every twist is a little bit different also. But it's also nice to just let your muscles unwind and relax, especially after doing a core workout. If you'd like, you can turn your head to look over your left shoulder here. Use this as a moment to catch your breath if those planks are really kicking your butt. Inhale, lift those knees back up. Set those feet on down. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Let those knees drop to the left side. Same thing, relax. Let your body unwind. Breathe in this pose. Catch your breath if you need to, or just really let yourself relax. Inhale, bring those legs on up. Bring your hands alongside your body here. We're going to do one more small little ab workout. And this is really good for finding your low abs. They sit kind of below your belly button in that general area. And we often forget about them. But they're super useful in dance. So we're going to work them out and we're going to find them. And the best way to demonstrate this is, I'm going to pull my shirt tight so you can see. A lot of people have this spine, this arch in their low back. I don't know if you can see, I could put my arm under here. I'm exaggerating right now so you can see it. Some people can, they just have a very exaggerated arch in their low back. But you have an arch here in your low back, and a way to find your low abs is by tilting your pelvis, flattening that low back against the ground, and you'll feel your stomach suck in, and these abs down here in your pelvis area will kind of kick in and, do a little work. This is the best way to find your low abs, I found. Whenever people ask me about it, I say just do this a couple times, back and forth. Push it down and relax. That's actually a really good way to help strengthen them if you're still trying to find them, still trying to work on them. So just take a few moments here. Inhale, relax. Exhale, flatten that back against the ground. Find those low abs. Inhale, relax. Exhale, do that tuck again. And I'm not throwing my back. I'm honestly just relaxing when I say relax. One more time, flatten that back. And relax. This is also very important for when you get into bridge pose, which we are going to do right now. So inhale, relax. Exhale as you flatten your back, but keep curling that tailbone up and under, and slowly lift every vertebrae off the ground. Push into your legs like you're pushing your body up the mat, and arch that back, or keep it kind of flat. You don't need to throw your pelvis up there. This is another pose where you can set a block beneath you, kind of at the top of your tailbone, and relax, and it feels really nice. But we're working on muscles here, so hold on to it. Get a nice little workout. You should feel your legs doing a lot of work. If I do these enough times, my hamstrings get super sore. Inhale, exhale, relax on down, but curl that spine, drop those vertebrae. Oh, that was really loud. Drop those vertebrae one at a time as you curl that spine on down. I have a teacher who explains it like dropping a pearl necklace, laying it out slowly. Each pearl sets down one at a time. It's a really good analogy, actually. All right, we're going to do it one more time. Inhale, relax. Exhale, curl that tailbone on up. Pick up those pearls one by one, and then push into your legs. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can kind of rock one shoulder, rock your shoulder blades closer together. Might help to grab the hands here. Really push on up and relax those hands out. You'll feel they really flop open. Try to keep those knees hip distance apart. Don't let them splay out if they want to. Don't let them collapse together. Release those shoulders and slowly drop on down one vertebrae at a time as you exhale. If you're still working on those, you may find that that last little chunk of low spine just kind of falls down at once. That happens, plus there's a really big bone down at the bottom that's not vertebrae anymore, and you can't drop that down slowly anyway. Alright, from here we're going to lift that right leg on up, bring that right knee into the chest, straighten that left leg, keep both legs, or both feet flexed, flex your feet. If you want to do a couple ankle circles here, loosen up those ankles. You can go one direction and then the other. Try to do the same amount on both directions. Relax out here, stretch out. This pose is really good for your back. Engage that core, lift that leg, bring the left foot back in, set that foot on the ground, release that right foot. We'll do the other side now. Left knee into chest, right leg out straight, out long, both feet flexed. Really sink in here, enjoy this pose. I love this pose. You could probably tell it's in half my videos. Breathe, smile, relax. Use your core to bend that right knee again. Bring that right foot in, set it on the ground. Drop the left foot on the ground. Send those feet out long here. And now if you'd like to do a Shavasana, you can join me and we'll do a quick Shavasana. Or you can get up and start dancing and work out those muscles in other ways and explore and have fun. Namaste.